is Murray Alexander. I am the parent of a 20-year-old severely autistic boy, Stephen. Stephen was first diagnosed at 2.5 years of age, and like most parents of autistic children know, we have had our shares of ups and downs. But undeniably, the last 4 months or so have been the most difficult of his life and ours.
Stephen has been away from us for over a year now. The only reason that we're doing this is to show other people what went on in our house.
Welcome to our house. Hello, Sam. You've been a bit traumatised, buddy, haven't you? Nearly every room in the house. That's where we tried to hide at night time, but he would hear the thump as he came up into our room.
He knows that we love him.
We want him to come home and be like he was before.
We were married in 85. We had Tasha in 91, and then Stephen arrived in 94.
Yeah, what's Stephen up to? First 2 years were wonderful, and he was doing brilliantly well. Stephen, say cheese. He was always on the top percentile in weight and height and meeting all his milestones, pointing and...
Very happy little boy. Until, of course, then he got a virus when he was about 2.
Yay! After that week where he was ill, we noticed things that he would start to walk up and down the corridor of our house, and he would just be studying and looking at fine grains in the wood. And seemed to lose all eye contact with us. Tasha, smile. Cool. Stephen? Stephen?
Through Plunkett, it was a special education person who came straight in, assessing him.
Very nice.
When the idea was first put to us that our son may be autistic, it was devastating. But at the same time, it provided some answers as to how this rather unusual behaviour, it had a label. Stephen is a loving boy. He really is.
It's weird to say it, but I think he's very people-oriented.
Watch Kim.
The happy times were just every day living with him, and the funny things that he would do, or the little routines that he has, and getting to understand them.
We love him. We love him to bits. When Stephen's happy, we're all happy.
Yeah, that's totally the things that gets me, is like, I just have such a problem with this whole situation.
Good boy.
It just seems so unfair to me. Because he's such a good person and he just doesn't deserve that.
He got very ritualistic, and we had a few problems.
There's huge amounts of anxiety. His life had to be in order, and it had to be regimented. which I think helps to reduce that anxiety. I think Stephen changed. He found it more and more difficult to try and alleviate the stresses that he was feeling.
He would bang a wall, which really wasn't like Stephen. He wasn't aggressive, he wasn't... Then he would start to hit his own head when he got so frustrated. And it was like him telling us that, I can't handle this. By this stage, the house was a bit of a shambles, but his own safety, you know, he was just really smacking his head really hard, which was, I mean, to hell with the house, you know, he can break walls, but I was scared he was going to break his head. And then he started turning it on us.
I hate to use the word attack, but he would just come to us and grab Janine or myself and would pull on our hair and push very hard. It was horrific because we'd always managed to cope. That last week in which we felt that Stephen and ourselves had really kind of lost the plot, we just felt that there was nothing more that we could do.
It was a night where I had actually rung the crisis team, or the mental health team, and said, you know, that he was on medication and that he had autism, and I was told, we can't help you, we don't do autism. And I didn't know what to do. We went to Waitakere Hospital. We spent 24 hours in the emergency department. Stephen was just so distraught that we were in a room and he was smacking a concrete wall. By the time the 24 hours was up, there was blood all over the concrete wall from where he had split all his hands. It was horrible.
And we got hold of the psychologist again, and it was her recommendation that he be committed at that stage. Well, we totally resisted that. There's no way that can happen. And
we put him in a wheelchair and we took him home. I think that was the Tuesday night. On the Thursday night, he went absolutely berserk and came out here and he was just smashing the wall. There was no wall. Murray and I went outside because he was just rampaging. He was looking for us and he was gonna, you know, really look like he was gonna do some damage. He just had it enough. So then he followed us outside, and this is like 11 o'clock at night, and he is just like yelling, and he's smacking his palms on the pavers outside around the pool, you know, and anything, any sort of surface, he's like smacking. He's just so angry and just so, you know, I've never, ever seen, not only Stephen, I've never seen anybody that distraught. In the morning, I rang the psychiatrist and I said, okay, you win. We can't do this anymore. This is it. And I just had my diagnosis the day before, of course, of breast cancer. My whole family was falling apart. Everything was falling apart. It was just a big mess. So I didn't tell Steve to start with. I packed him a bag. I wrote him a social story to say that he was going to hospital and he was going to stay there for a few days, and they were going to help make his head better. And I gave it, yeah. I made him his favourite dinner, and he came out and he was eating his dinner, and I gave him a lorazepam to calm him a little bit, and then they all arrived. So it was like he was going on a little adventure. He was quite calm. Went to the bathroom, changed his clothes, brushed his teeth, and showed him his story. And then they went to take him out through the hallway, and then he just got quite agitated. So the police turned him around and put handcuffs on him and put him in the police car and took him away.
And what did you and Murray do then that night?
Oh, man.
Those minutes after he'd left?
That night, just hugged each other. It was like, it just seemed so wrong, but there was nothing else we could do. We couldn't help him. Yeah. Sorry.
It was a frightening situation. Just going to show you a little collection of his tapes, which he absolutely adored and collected all his life. For some reason, it gave him some sort of out to just destroy stuff.
This is Stephen, probably 10 months before he went to hospital, showing his very gentle, caring side.
So when Stephen went into the mental unit at Waitakere Hospital, we quickly realised that he was in a place where these were grown adults going through horrific things in their own lives to be in that unit. And our 20-year-old boy who has, the mental capacity of a 3 or 4-year-old is in with adults.
We were told that they couldn't guarantee Stephen's safety in an adult mental health facility, and I was distraught. I was going for surgery the next day. I was going for a mastectomy, and they're busy telling me they can't care for him, they can't look after him. Well, I can't. So it was pretty rough, yeah.
So we had to get him out of that place. We needed to do whatever we could. He was in there under the Mental Health Act. So we had lost our legal rights to remove him. That's when, the battle started. I decided that if I did a short video and just briefly showed people that matter, that what we were going through at the time, that someone might be able to help us. He was sectioned under the Mental Health Act. It breaks our heart to see him there, but after 4 police interventions, including one at the Sturgis Respite House, there is nowhere for him to go. That video had an impact. The right people did see it, and from an absolute desperate situation we were in, things started to happen.
Wendy Duff is a great friend. She was the first mum of an autistic child that we ever met. She has huge involvement with Autism New Zealand and is an amazing advocate for all families.
Our boys are pretty much the same age, they're pretty similar. So as they started to get into trouble with Stephen, I was there for them. I come every second Friday to pick up Elliot to take him home for the weekend. And I guess the worst thing that can happen is he's very impatient and wants to go now. I've also prepared a plan. My husband's at home in case today goes badly wrong, because if he is uptight, he's likely to get hit out, can be really dangerous, and I can't handle him by myself.
Elliot, hi. How are you? You good? You had a kiss for me? You had a kiss for me? Another one? One more?
2010, we ended up in crises. For about 3 months, we were beaten, hit. For us, it was diabolical.
Can we stay with Mummy and Daddy? We'll just get some of your clothes?
Through that process of us being in crises, I realised how bad it can get. And I realised that the people that sit in the ivory towers have no idea. When you say to them, you know, I'm trying to support a family, or we're trying to support ourselves, we've got holes in our wall, they think, oh yes, somebody's just put their hand through the wall.
Shall we go? Okay.
Over the last year of working out there in the community and trying to help families, I've realised New Zealand's gone backwards. We thought we had it pretty hard when we were first diagnosed, but I've realised now that actually we had it far better back then. Our funding was easier to obtain than what it is now. It's really scary, because what is going to happen in the future? There's going to be soon, I fear, another child killed by a parent or vice versa, because there is some aggression going on within some of those families that I'm helping. There is also some parents, sadly the mums mostly, turning to mental health themselves.
From that point on, where we had to find somewhere for Stephen to go to get him out of the unit, I rang up from Hamilton to Dargaville, and that's where the difficulty was. He didn't have anywhere to go. The one shining light was Spectrum.
Right now, as with every Thursday, always butterflies, because I guess I only get to see that little snapshot of Steve now. I only get to see him the once a week. It's actually really important that I see him happy. The guys that look after him know that as well, because I just think about him all week anyway. Hello, come on. Hello. Good to see you. Okay, let's take our bags in and do some cooking. Good man. Yep. Here you go. They're both really, really heavy. Okay, can you carry those in? Okay. Cool. That's Sean. This is, yes, driver's license. Yep. There you go. Good boy. Cool. That's Hunter. That's Hunter's driver's license. I got a picture of Hunter for your board, okay? Really, really important for Stephen to know who's coming into the house, so we use visuals all the time, and obviously new people in the house. Also, the carers for the day, their photo goes up as well. It just decreases Stephen's anxiety if he knows who's coming into the house.
My name's Sila. Basically, what Stephen says, he's come into the house, coming from the clinic, He was a bit edgy, but since then he's progressed really well, blended in well in the house. All we try to do is get him used to this is his environment, this is his home.
You're a good boy, no? You're doing really, really, really good. Oh, you're a good boy. Okay. Good boy. Good, babe. Okay? Which one? Savage Garden. That one's Bare Necessities. A lot of the Disney songs he likes. He knows every song that Robbie Williams has ever put out. They're just certain other songs from, yeah, different places that he's heard or whatever, and yeah, I don't like him listening to them at all. Kind of remind him of, they either make him really happy or not. Savage Garden is like a bit of an anxious song for him, so he kind of portrays his moods through what he's asking to look at. Can I sit here too? Good. Okay. I Wish That I Had Duck Feet by Dr. Seuss. Okay. I think it would be very good to have them when I play. My mother would not like them. She would say, "Get off my floor." She would say, "You take your duck feet and you take them out that door." And girls on his bike. It's okay. It's all good. Boy in town can hit a fly so far away. Do you want to finish the book? Okay. Okay.
Eat! Die! And gone now! Why? How?
Do you want to have a little rest for a bit? Yeah? You feeling better now?
Those sort of outbursts of behaviours are probably once a day, but it's not every day of the week, for example. So there are moments where he's like good, you saw, and then there are moments where he just sort of blows up. But it's only short, and then more than anything, we sort of redirect his focus, as you saw the mum try to do.
You did so good, buddy. I am so proud of you. You did really, really good. Okay? Well done. Mwah. 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 Okay? And I'll see you next Thursday. Hey, what are we going to make next Thursday?
Cupcakes.
Cupcakes. All right, done. Okay.
So we take Stephen out every day. He has a weekly program. We're going that way. And it's mainly places that are of interest to him. Steve, sorry, come. There's a car coming. Good man. Hold up. We have like walks on the beach. Embry Farm's a good one. Go visit the animals. We got a couple of turkeys there. Yeah, that's the sheep.
It's getting on really well.
Morning.
He has 3 full-time carers, because it is 24/7 care. They're fantastic guys, really brilliant. And Stephen loves them and they love him too. So obviously the house looks a lot different than it did. We had a lot of help. He hasn't been back here for over a year. When he does come back for a visit, none of us wants that last scene to happen again.
He could come in and he could start smashing walls. We want this to still be a safe place for him.
Good job.
Yeah, actually, you better get the bugs out because Stephen doesn't like bugs. He won't go in there. And it's taken us all time to accept how Stephen was then and actually see now that he is coming back to his old self, and for him to know that we've forgiven him.
He's coming up the drive, Janine. Right. Shoot downstairs. Yeah, you can go inside, darling. You can go inside. Wow. You know what?
He was straight in, checking everything out, checking our fridge out, going straight in to help himself, feeling very, very comfortable.
This is still his home, but he has another home as well. Now, as he grows into adulthood, he's moving on to a new part of his life, really.
Thank you. Thanks for everything.
We're giving him wings so that he can fly, and we've got them as well now. We were really lucky that things have turned out the way they have for our family. There are still a lot of families out there hurting, in crisis, who need help.
And they could be your neighbours.
When people see the fencing, they just assume it's a gang house, but we're not really a gang. We're just a wee family. Closer, put your arm around my shoulder. Nah, not happening. Just a normal, happy family, really. Well, I wouldn't go as far as to say normal, but a happy family. Not finished. It does look intimidating. It's not overly inviting, but they're more than welcome. We'll invite anybody in, whether you get back out's another story. Come on, just do it. Jeremy's just going to do it for a couple of secs, okay? Well done, boys. Okay, you can go inside now. Well done. Good. You don't have to go backwards. It's so special.
Unique. I wouldn't really know how to put into words. Everyone's different. Jacob's kind of shy. Likes to stay in his room and watch movies, like Jackson. He's extremely smart. Jackson, I'm not quite sure what it'd be like to be him. I imagine I'd be mostly confused about how the world works. I'm not quite sure. Really, all I see is my disability is I find it a little bit more difficult to learn things and to pull the information out when I need it.
Jaron was diagnosed autistic and dyspraxic, but because he can talk, he doesn't think he is compared to his brothers. Well, you just got to learn simple solutions for everything, you know. Just change your way of looking at things rather than being upset by how the kids do things. Work a way of making it fit in with our normal lives, basically. Well, the challenges is the fact that the children don't talk. You never know how they're feeling, what they're thinking, and how safe they are. Just practicing my sign language. Well, Jackson's trying, but he thinks he can say good morning to everything, and that's his way of, but little bits each day, and, you know, and it does make a difference, definitely. And he's a little bit more verbal. Jacob's more verbal now because he doesn't like the sign language. I love my kids, you know, always wanted to be a mum, so I don't think it was going to be this hard, you know. I thought it would be, you know, maybe that's my fault. I had high expectations, you know, but I suppose every parent does. I figure the rest of my life I'll probably just be caring for the kids until I can't get, really. Sorry, son. Gonna have breakfast, are you? Or are you gonna do cartoons? Set your mirror up so you can watch cartoons, sweetie. In the mornings, Jacob gets up first. He's up at about 6:30. His taxi comes around 7:30. Jackson stays in bed until I've come up from Jacob's taxi, and then he comes out and has his breakfast then. In the mornings, because the TV's facing that way, Jacob can't see it having his breakfast. He sets the mirror up so he can watch it from the breakfast table. Pretty smart, really. They used to have breakfast together, but they don't like each other for a start, so that makes it difficult. The fighting and the screaming and the kicking out of each other, it's best not to wind them up, not stress them out. What time are you going to head down for the taxi, son?
7:20.
7:20, okay, then I'll be on to it. Come on. I know it's not normal, but nothing in our houses. We just do things to keep everything peaceful. Jacob used to melt down, you know, 10 times a minute sort of thing. He just screams and just grumpy, and he starts doing his, little tick things, and he'll start walking laps. It's not nice seeing him wound up like that, because it takes him a really long time to calm down, so you basically just try not to get him in that state in the first place. A lot of compromise, doing separate rules for each kid. It's the only way it works. Taxi. Ready? Good man. Morning, boys. Here's the river. You're looking good. Well, the boys get taxied to and from school. They're in separate taxis. Morning, son. Time to get up. Jackson, he's awesome. All I have to do now is sort of turn the shower on for him, set his toothbrush up, and armpits. Spray him with the deodorant. He hasn't quite worked out how to line that up. Oh, and also help wipe his bum. He, unfortunately, still doing that job. Arms up. Let's go. One. Cool. Good man. Thank you. Jackson, come brush your teeth, please. Good man. They're all getting older, so more mature, but now my plan's sort of around Jackson. Age-wise, Jack's sort of at the 7, 8 sort of mental age. It's just kind of picking Jackson up and moving him forward. And really got to work more on the sign language and some speech, because no communication's just hard work.
Morning, Jackson.
Put your seatbelt on. Seatbelt, please. Good man. We just take it one day at a time, because It's no point making plans because anything could happen. Come in, see us. You've got 5.5, 6 hours off 5 days a week while they're at school, and it's kind of an 18-hour a day job and 24 on the weekends. I'd like a life outside of just this house. I'd like a partner to help, not just the chores, but enjoy the good times, you know, go places, bit of backup, you know, when you are a bit stressed, and, you know, someone to just remind you to chill down a bit, because it can get a bit stressful.
In an all day, I'd wake up, have my breakfast, go for a walk, maybe do some weightlifting, watch a movie, go out with friends, have dinner and go to bed. An ideal day would be something very exhausting. Yeah, I'd rather be doing something like labouring or carpet laying. I do like a hard day's work.
When Jarum's out of school and not working, because it needs to be someone understanding of Jarum forgetting everything daily. And that's the problem with his dyspraxia, is it's very frustrating because you know he knows it, but he can't remember. People generally yell at him and then he loses the plot totally. Thank you. Have a good day. See you later. With Jackson, because he's such a runner, padlocks, definitely. The fencing's inside out so they can't climb up the posts. Got rid of all the plastic furniture. Anything that's mobile, it's gone. Because, you know, I don't know if Jackson could climb up, but it's just not worth the risk. Yeah. It's a really horrible feeling losing your child. Take your lunchbox out, please. Jackson's gone places, you know. He's got all the way to Highbury on his feet before. All right, Jacob. Slowly go up. Say bye, Rick. Oh, empty. No one else gets to go on. See you later. Thanks, Rick. Hi, son.
Hi.
Did you have a good day?
Yeah.
What have you been doing today? Did you go to the farm?
No.
No? What did you do today? Where did you go?
To Winderhome.
To Winderhome. What did you do there?
Make some plants.
You made some plants. Jacob and Jackson.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. Good manners. Well, you become a parent because you bring in life into the world, and, you know, your job is to get that child set up for life, basically. You know you've done a good job when they can move out, but unfortunately that's not going to happen with my kids. Hi, Jackson. Time for a shower. Get your pajamas, please. I don't want to send them off to be cared for by other people when it's my job. You know, it's just pretty much us four doing everything. Good man. Your hand out under the tap. This one. This one. Test it. Is it all right? Not too hot? Okay, shampoo. Over here, put it in your hand. Come on. Soap on the cloth, please. Come on.
I'm happiest creature.
Happiest creature, yes. Let's have a wash. Normal life that people live, it's not the same as ours. People don't understand that my kids are my gifts. You know, I'm so lucky to have them. Bedtime, sweetie. Good man. You ready? I suppose the little things are what's so special. Look snuggly bugly.
Yeah.
No, I missed it, sorry. Slower. Funny guy. You know, when Jackson comes up and says, "Hi, Mum," you know, just about breaks your heart because, you know, and every other parent gets that every day, so they don't appreciate the real little things. Kia ora.
Oh, kia ora, Kim. You're all locked up.
Always. Come on through.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Sue Robertson from Imagine Better.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for
You're welcome.
inviting me over.
Come on through. Just lock the gate up. This
Thanks,
is my
Kim.
lounge/bedroom.
That's the train track running down the hallway.
Yeah, it's never ending, eh? But unfortunately, yeah, I don't have my own room. The kids have to be separate, so I'm in the lounge and have been for, what, 16 years. So
Okay.
this is my space.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Does that work for you?
I don't enjoy it.
No.
But it's better than nothing, you know, at least I've got a roof over my head. Could be worse.
Yeah. Well, look, I really do understand. So I do want to let you know I'm not just some random stranger coming into your lounge from Imagine Better. We have 3 adult children now, and Katie's 29, and she has all the attributes of autism and all its gloriousness.
Speaking?
No, she's never developed language, and theoretically an intellectual disability. But as you know, they you know.
And she lives at home with you guys still?
No, she doesn't. 7 years ago,
Wow.
Neil and I, how we describe it as Neil and I ran away from the family home and left her to go flatting.
Awesome.
But she needs considerable support.
That's really cool. And she's still really happy, so she's been doing it a few years now.
She's really happy. And
What about you and your husband, though?
We've got a life back.
I haven't had one of those, so yeah.
Well,
Must be pretty choice, eh?
honestly, it's absolutely possible. Keep pulling it. Yeah. So PATH stands for Planning Alternative Tomorrows with Hope. And it's really forward-looking. So what could be happening by a date in the future where life would look sweet and what would be involved in it. So if Imagine Better was to offer to do a PATH plan for you,
Oh, for me?
would you be? Yeah, for you,
Yeah.
Kim.
Well, I always make myself restricted because, I don't know what the kids will be doing next, you know, where they're going to be. But, yeah, I suppose if I get myself sorted, then I can sort the kids.
Well,
I hadn't really thought about it that way.
yeah, and what we can also look at in that vision is a goal for each of the boys. I'm a bit like you, and what I've learned is it's a courageous act to invite people in.
Yeah, well, that'll be definitely difficult.
Yeah.
It's hard asking for help, but it's so much easier to see where help is needed for others. So, yeah, I'm going to have to bite the bullet, aren't I? It would be nice to have a partner to share my life and the kids' life, but it's just awkward trying to fit someone in with us. You know, we're so just set in our routines as well, I suppose, that I can't imagine, you know, having time to fit another person in. Yeah, Auntie, don't take any crap from the kids. I usually get quite anxious when I've got to leave them. Auntie Chevelle's there, so it's a lot better. Occasionally I've had to leave Durham with them, and that really freaks me out. I kind of rush it, whereas I should be relaxing and enjoying my half hour to myself. I don't really like shopping. People are a pain in the arse in the place. You've got to dodge around a few of the pensioners, so I just like to get it done and get out of there. Yes. Yeah, it looks right, all right.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi, good, thank you. Thank you very much. You too, you have a good day. Cheers. Yeah, hopefully.
Good with us specials.
You're an egg, man. All my friends are special in their own unique ways.
In our own unique ways, we're all special. The boys come first, foremost, and second and third, and she just makes sure that, you know, they've got their food and they've got their mum. But yeah, that's why she does get quite a bit sick, tired. I mean, even mentally, being locked in a place, you know, and hearing about some of us girls and what our adventures are up to through our lives. I mean, that can be a bit of a downer, but
it could be just.
Oh, look, she's marvellous because she don't just do it for the boys. She's done it for a lot of people.
Well, babysitting the kids for me while I'm comatose. That's awesome.
Yeah, she got pretty sick. She got pleurisy, and they gave her a cocktail with the medicines that would have knocked any big guy out, and it pretty much knocked my mate out right at Christmas time too. And yeah, so pretty much stayed here.
But yeah, just so grateful, Chevelle, because Mum was in hospital, and so I didn't have any backup, basically, which is something that we've kind of realised that I don't have a lot of, so I'm going to have to get onto that.
Yeah, that's the biggest scare, and we've been talking about it a lot lately, is if anything happened to her, and who would be here for the boys for the rest of their lives, because it's what it is, it's for the rest of their lives. They're never really going to come into society where they are. I mean, we may put them into homes and that, but, you know, in a sense, they've known it for so long here. They love it here. I've never heard her complain, but she's always said it. She's glad and she's proud of who she has as her boys. But yeah.
Well, there were no trade-ins at the shop?
Well, no, not for you, you naughty girl. I've caught her a couple of times when we have Jackson or Jacob, and she'll just stare at them. Like, she's so, not just proud, but she's so blessed to have been gifted the three that she's been gifted.
So we're just off to Kate's place, which is just around the corner, about 2 minutes away from where Neil and I live. In the first year that she went flatting, I think I was around there 3 or 4 times a week. And it took a few months before that whittled down to once or twice a week. And Kate's just blossomed.
Good.
Hi, how are you? She's really content and happy. She's a gardener. She's an artist. She's a great housekeeper.
Oh, you want a photo with me? Yeah. Have you done the vacuuming this morning? Yeah. Okay, so I've come to get the vacuum cleaner. Okay? Yeah. All right. Did you weed your garden?
There's a health and safety issue that sits there where she needs considerable support to live well. Under individualised funding, Katie's able to employ her own staff, which she does in her own unique way.
Supermarket with Dad. Coke, 2 Cokes. 20 Kodak.
See ya, bye.
Well, because it helped me think about things, like how to get a job and what I'm going to do today. Yeah, for the majority of my life, it's been Mum raising me. She really should take better care of herself. She gets way too stressed way too easily, but she's quite level-headed for someone who has 3 special needs children.
You're having a moi. You're going to sleep now. Did you guys tell them to do that? Yeah. Hmm? Well, I suppose for any child, you just love them because they're yours and, you know, but when they need so much from you, like these boys, it's more so because, you know, it's like always having a baby, if you know what I mean. And, you know, it's like having a baby. It's, you know, pretty awesome. It's just that they're a bit larger than me. Yeah. But, yeah, it is pretty awesome, you know. Unconditional.
Well.
Yeah, you good? Lucky I got my tubes tied before the autism because I wouldn't have coped if I'd had more. Not at all. 3's hard enough, but I don't think 4 would be doable. Living opposite the park, you know, I watch those guys playing cricket and footy and I want to play, but I can't, so it's all good. I've had a life before I had my kids, so, you know, I was quite lucky beforehand, you know. I had my motorbike, so I used to ride around a lot, go visit the whānau and stuff, so, yeah, I've had my life, so it's about the kids now. Hi, Jack. Want to go for a drive? And put your shoes and socks on, please? Good man. We're going to attempt to go shopping at the warehouse with the boys. They've both got a $25 warehouse voucher from their Nan and Nolan. Jacob, you want to get your shoes and socks on? We'll go for a drive. You're organised already? You're a good man. We're just going to wait for Jackson to get his shoes and socks on. Shut the door when you come out. Come on. I usually like to plan ahead, tell the kids what we're doing a week or 2 in advance, just to prep them. Hand on the car. Hand on the car. Thank you. Okay, you can hop in now, please. We don't go out a lot because Jackson and Jacob, their sensory thing, it just, different things set them off, upset them. Too much noise, too many people, noises we don't even hear, Jacob especially, so it's kind of safer to stay home. You'll see. Believe me, you'll see what he's like. Then again, he might be an angel and you'll think, oh, she's full of crap. So we'll see. Let's go. We'll go. Oh, we'll go this way.
I can only imagine what it might be like to have more than one family member with autism living in the same house. But I really do understand how your world can become small.
Yep, in here.
But I think one of the things that Kim is already missing is other people in her life and having someone help her to think. Because you can get quite stuck in your thinking.
Get the step. Good. The risk of losing track of Jackson at the mall is he could end up anywhere. He's a bit of a runner and he'll just go, which is understandable. He's locked up daily, I suppose. You can go have a look, Jacob, whatever you want to look at. Which one do you want? Cinderella. Have a look at the front. 2, only 2. No, 2. 1, 2. This one going back then. I took Jacob to the mall once and there's that ad, Shaken Dog. And Jacob saw it and he just screamed and screamed and screamed and had to leave because it upset him. And people were just like looking at him. Yeah. You can take your time, son. You find what you like. People just judge them by their behaviour. And they don't understand that maybe that kid's going off because a simple thing like, you know, a noise that we can't hear. It's all right. You can just get that one if that's what you want. I've been judged by many, but I don't really give a shit what other people think, you know. We cope and live in our world the way we do best, you know. And for others, they can live their life their way. Okay, put your computers, put your games on there. Just wait. Just wait. All right, you're all right. You're all right. Don't panic. Don't panic. Thank you very much. Cheers. You have a good day too. Thank you. Should I carry those? Or just yours? I see. Good. You did well, boys. Well done. I'm impressed. Hey, Sue. How are you?
Yeah, good. Georgia's arrived at the same time?
Yep. Look out. It's going to swing towards you.
Okay.
Come on through. Yes, come on through.
Come in and I'll introduce
Hi,
you to
how are you?
Georgia. Good, I'm Georgia.
Hi, I'm Kim.
Okay.
Oh, you guys smell yummy.
Thank you. Hello, how are you? Nice to see you again.
You too.
And you're a friend of...
Oh, Jackson and Jacob's.
That's the auntie.
Hello, darling.
Hi, I'm Georgia.
Javel.
Nice to meet you. Georgia's our artist. Hi.
Oh,
Georgia.
Hi.
JK.
Hi.
Maybe up there, I reckon.
The nail's helping the blue check stay there.
Kim, thank you so much for inviting Georgia and I to spend time with you today to plan your path.
If life looked really good for you, and of course your family, but we're focusing on you, then what would we like to see happen? Like, for example, I know, you've got your bed in the lounge. Do you see yourself having your own bedroom back?
Well, once the kids have moved out of home, I can have the choice of bedrooms, which would be really choice.
So you'll have one younger son still living at home?
Yes. Wow. That sounds awesome.
Jaron will have left home. He'll be flatting, he'll be working, he'll be popping back for a few feeds. Jacob will be 21 and he will have come to the end of transition planning, and you'll have, firm plans in place for him.
Hopefully, yes.
Cool. Jackson will be 19 and he'll be in the middle of his transition planning. You'll be in some kind of paid employment.
Yeah, well, simple
possibly.
solutions for families, basically if someone had sort of come along and sort of said, have you tried this, when I first had the kids, it would have been quite helpful.
Javel, what would you really like to see?
I'd like to see the boys settle, that will settle her. Like if something happens to her, where do we go with the boys, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's
absolutely
main goal in life, basically, is know that they're covered.
That's right.
When I'm gone.
So, in fact, Georgia, a good term for that is know that my boys are covered.
I think we're pretty well sussed for the next couple of years, and something more to build on too, once, I've got all this sort of in my mind and sorted. But yeah, it's been a great productive day.
I'm really excited for Kim's future and that of her family. She's done some really great planning. I look forward to coming back. I think her world is open.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It just gave me other ways to look at things as well. Stepping back from the kids and letting them do things for their own selves. And as long as the kids are happy, that's pretty much all happy, healthy children. That's pretty much all I want.
You too.
I'm excited to be heading out and doing something today. I'm going to be doing some carpet laying with my dad.
Great. Well done.
As a family, trying to raise 3 autistic children in a society that really struggles to understand what autism is really hard. Most people wouldn't understand how much time and effort that goes into creating a good life for these young people.
Come back.
Because we don't want our children living a life excluded from things. The more people understand autism, the better our society's going to be.
Look, he's not even interested. He's like, nah.
Got an amazing family and exceptional children. They may technically sit on the autism spectrum, but to me, they just got their own specialties. They're all incredibly gifted.
Anything that's different.
Sophie, she's really funny and really outgoing. She's on the spectrum.
So I did the whole sauce.
Harry, his mind is constantly going. He's on the spectrum. Oh, yeah, look at that.
What?
Liam, he's my eldest son. He's very high-functioning autistic, so he's very clever. Connor's exceptionally fit and sporty. He loves to play soccer. He's not on the spectrum.
Maybe you just need a bit of food.
Rachel, she's my loving wife. She's the rock that holds us all together. She's always thinking about everyone else. Without that, we wouldn't be able to have such a tight family.
I guess it's just a busy 6-person family, and I'm acutely aware that we probably don't seem a typical autistic disabled family. And actually, there's so much that goes on in families who are raising children who have autism but don't meet those stereotypical labels, who are getting on with life most of the time, who just have a few barriers to overcome. But as a family, we think about autism as a strength and not to be embarrassed about.
For me, autism is great, I think. I get all of the benefits of it. You know, I can learn really quick. I can take information really well. But I guess there are some downsides too. I get this, you know, the stereotypical can't read people, the not looking into people's eyes because it's a weird feeling. And I think the missing some stuff just kind of makes it a bit hard.
Got all these children and not one of them's helping doing any cleaning. We went wrong somewhere.
Pardon me?
Why aren't the children doing the cleaning?
Go and get them then.
Pick your battles.
Yeah. Liam is my first baby, and you don't know anything other than what you get given, I guess. And I just thought that children at 2 and 3 could draw schematics, and he could talk in these really complex sentences and had these really adult-type thoughts.
So we had him tested to find out what his intelligence was. And I think it was at that point they mentioned, he might be on the spectrum because of the way he responds to questions about emotions and things slightly different.
The hardest part about autism for me, I don't understand people and their feelings. So often I'll do something and then someone will say to me, it's like, why didn't you think about that? And I'm like, well, I can't really.
Yeah, hurting people's feelings.
Are you sad?
I'm very sad.
He's still learning the rules of social engagement and that social awkwardness. What do you say when somebody says that, or how do you respond to a situation?
True. Yeah, that's pretty true. He's a pretty good older brother, yeah.
Oh.
Aww.
How does that make you feel?
That I've been lied to. Betrayed.
Liam and Connor have always been a tight wee unit. Connor is just your average Kiwi boy, and he's so empathetic and so not on the spectrum.
This is my trinket box. It's full of everything in the world. See?
Harry is diagnosed with autism and ADHD. I probably use the expression to describe Harry as the most impacted by his autism.
It's a weary feather from Papua New Guinea. Autism is like, I have superpowers but not superpowers. I've got really good smell and hearing, and it's sometimes really annoying because then I can smell the ants. And I can't hear my own voice, so I can't hear how loud I am or quiet I am. And it's really annoying for the family.
I just do squiggles and then draw flowers on them. I'm bad at unicorns.
When Sophie was 3 or 4, she was doing some really typical autistic things, lining up animals in a really regimented way. She will mask a lot of the stuff that's going on for her. She gets really confused about what's happening in social situations. And then when she'll get home, it's like a bottle of lemonade being shaken up, and when you open it, it all just explodes.
I noticed at school that she would react to situations which were difficult. She got deeply affected by things that shouldn't really have been so important. She would sort of fly off the handle a lot easier than other kids.
Autism makes me feel different and special. The worst part about autism is that it's hard to get along. People.
As the kids were getting diagnosed, the more we found out about it, the more I started to realise that that was me when I was a child. They didn't really understand autism very well 30 years ago. I was just kind of a naughty, smart kid. I haven't really been formally diagnosed, so I was kind of in trouble a lot, and I started to realise that, I'm not really very empathetic, and I could be very blunt.
What?
And even now, it's still the same for me. I still find I struggle with it sometimes. I can explain all my bad behaviour, or all of my behaviour, but I don't really care.
Where's your Adidas ones?
I don't know. I can't find them. Can you help me hold them?
Okay. I'm a planner and an organiser, and I run this house like a bit of a military operation, which is a bit of a joke, but it's what it needs to happen for it to run really smoothly. No, those are just jackets, I think, Dylan.
So where is it?
I don't know. I usually get up, get things started. Harry's next up, and we just do it piece by piece by piece.
Maybe they're in my school drawer, school pants drawer.
You have a look on there. Usually it's pretty calm, and I try and keep it really relaxed because I feel like my job in the morning is to get the children to school in their best possible mindset. We have a
system.
pretty cool system.
Me and Connor are sleeping, you guys do the work, we get up, eat some food, annoy everybody, go back to bed, then you guys complain that we're not being useful enough, then these guys go to school, me and Connor finally get up, then we get our stuff ready and then we go to school.
I probably do a lot more in the mornings for the children, but there's about that much that they can do in a day, and you want that much to be stuff that's going to be in their learning environment. Where's your school bag?
I said I don't know.
Harry and Sophie struggle to go to school most weeks. So most people wouldn't understand how much time and effort that goes into our day. Oh, the doors are frozen shut. So we probably don't appear to be anything different to most families, which is a great thing. But at the same time, people aren't as compassionate or as understanding when things do go wrong. So we probably appear as this big family with these really naughty children a lot of the time, or a family who are making excuses for their child's behaviour. There you go. All right, love, come on. Come on. Good girl. You all right? Climb out. See, everyone's gone. Ready? You look beautiful. Here you go. Soph, I've got to go to work. Come on. Okay, come out. Sophie Rose. No, now I need to go to work. Come on. Soph, out. You can't sit in the car all day. So you've got to take them to the office now, okay? That's your job. There you go. You're going to take Hunter to the office? Bye. Come back. Right. Have a good day.
I do not like school because socializing at school is hard. Because everyone there thinks I'm different, so they don't want to play with me, really.
Sophie has a lot of rules to how life should be, and that is a struggle sometimes because she has lots of rules around friendships, and her friends have to follow her rules, and little girls don't want to follow another little girl's rules all the time. And also the ability to gauge a situation or know what to say isn't something that comes naturally. Some of these skills have to be learnt. So if you can imagine if you're having a conversation with somebody, and I know how to instantly react if you start to get sad, but for Liam, Harry and Sophie, it doesn't come naturally. They're really thinking about, now, how should I respond? So that's what Dawn teaches them.
I'd be a bit afraid.
I'm a behavioural consultant and I work with children with learning needs, but I specialise with children with autism. Sophie is more high anxiety. A lot of girls present quite differently to boys, and they mask their autism really well because they mimic other children. They will stand on the periphery, they will watch what the other children are doing, and then they will copy what they're doing. Last year, she really struggled. So I worked with her to find out exactly what was wrong. And one of the big things was she couldn't decide on who to choose to play with. She found playing with too many girls at once was overwhelming. The noise was too much, the choices of games was too much, following the rules was too much. So what we did, we spoke to the girls and asked them if they would be happy for us to put in a play chart of who she would play with each day. And that really helped Sophie, and her friends were really understanding, and now we don't have to do that. She can just go out and play, and she can cope with it by herself.
We can just, they can walk around. Oh, yeah, walk.
Do you remember the last thing to do, Antonia? What do you need to do once he's finished? If you look
Miss Wimsey says I had to finish my art because everyone else has finished their art.
Harry is really clever and bright child. He's very passionate about animals, nature. He does have troubles in the classroom with particular things such as noise, surprises. If he's not sure what's happening, then it can overwhelm him, but he's got strategies that we work on to help him adapt to those things.
This is my calm down box. And this is my massage ball.
What does that make you feel?
Just nice.
He likes using his hands. If he's feeling overwhelmed or tired, him being able to go to that box really helps him just to kind of get into a good space.
We had one incident last year where Harry was really upset. He couldn't go into class in the mornings and we couldn't work out what it was. And it turned out that Harry has got high sensory needs and his sense of smell is really, really large, and he can smell ants, and there were ants in the classroom. So we had to get rid of these ants before we could get him back in the classroom.
Perfect. Have that. Oh, yeah.
Harry goes to a mainstream school, and I am adamant that he has the opportunity to mix with his peers. And it's good for other children to learn what autism is and how do you support somebody with autism, because the more people understand him and other people like him, the better our society's going to be.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Rachel? In about 20 minutes.
Come on, Jordan. We're going in here.
Who's that?
No one, it's Rachel.
Paul Hepper is a residential provider. We provide a range of living solutions for adults with disabilities. So my role is to meet new families that have expressed an interest in getting Paul Hepper to support them, doing something different. And how do you make that all work in this incredibly confusing system of funding and housing and rules and regulations, and how to pull that all together, because it needs a person to make that all kind of happen.
You have a look at that.
About 7 years ago, when Harry was diagnosed with autism, I was just getting turned away all the time. Every time I tried to advocate for what they needed or what I thought they needed. So I thought, right, I might just need a bigger piece of paper than a mum. And I'd always kind of had an interest in social work. So I did my social work qualifications through Massey by distance. I do my mother.
I'm extremely proud that she's managed doing a degree and raising these children and raising me as well. And she's working in a similar sort of area. I think she finds it really rewarding and fulfilling. She's doing a great job.
So this is LJ Assembly. This is where we assemble the large jets. So I design the control systems which actuate it and make it move. And then this is controlled by the controls on the bridge, which the operator drives the boat with.
I've always worked with boats for 20 years. I've worked in defence on the Anzac frigates and the protector class ships, designing electrical systems for those. Being on the spectrum, I've got quite a good ability to visualise things in my head, so I can generally see the problems before they occur.
With Aidan's job, he has to travel a lot. So I parent alone for about 10 weeks of the year. So as a family, we're learning really quickly it's about the right people that surround us.
Hey-oh.
Yeah, I just saw the biggest bumblebee.
The bumblebee, yeah, bud.
For our family, having a break is really tricky because there's not many people that can manage the complexity of 3 children with autism, and then you're adding change, and then you're putting in somebody that they might not know or trust. It's often a recipe for failure. Until we met Big Lamb. And Big Lamb showed that if you have the right carer in place, you can actually have breaks. And last year, Aidan and I had our first night away as a couple after 14 years or something crazy.
I'm going to push you real high, though.
No,
hold
hit on that.
Oh, Bud's going to get hit.
Not now. Stop. Leave.
Being a carer, especially with kids of a young age, I feel like you've really got to just be yourself because they can see right through you, you know.
Mum doesn't like Dad putting up posters. Our dad, he had this cool Spider-Man poster. And imagine if Sam was like that, you would die.
I
live
feel
on your
sometimes
posters.
inside. Harry, he's just a wild boy. He will just go and go and go. Try and take it for a walk or go for a swing or a swim or anything like that just to burn off some energy. And then, I mean, Sophie, she's brutally honest. You know, I walked up to school today, she's like, I don't like your haircut. I liked it longer. That's the first thing she noticed. Slide.
We talk about autistic children not having a filter. Sophie certainly does that, you know. She will tell you exactly what she thinks if you want to hear it or not, and sometimes it's okay. She's learning when to think it in her head, but not say it out loud.
So we've got to get that HDMI cable up.
And because we can't get rid of the connector, it's going to be a big hole there.
Oh, we'll just put a little plate there to cover.
What I was actually thinking is if we look under the bracket, there's a hole. So you can go put under the bracket and feed out through there.
Liam's our go-to guy for IT in the house because there are benefits to being on the spectrum. Logical thinking nowadays is very important as everything's based around computers. And visualisation, things like that, being able to see inside your head what something how it will work, or what it looks like. So he's learning how to be a plumber and an electrician and an IT engineer, and you know he's learning all of those skills, and he's only 14.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah?
I'm going to give it a tug.
Okay.
When I met Aidan, he would talk about his adolescence being the most challenging part of his life, that social awkwardness. Having a parent in the family with autism makes this job a lot easier because he can share with me how it feels and I can learn from Aidan about how he sees things.
So just hold it there, jiggle it so it'll come down.
Now the boys are sort of coming to that teenage age, I can see the potential areas where they're going to struggle because it's easy to sort of put behaviour down to just being rude. Like, I've got a learned response of how I need to act. It's just taken a long time to kind of piece together by making mistakes. You know, if something goes wrong, then I need to sort of show some empathy even though I don't really feel it. And that's just quite hard, and especially, and that's why, you know, I don't like large groups of people. I don't like having to, I've got to really work hard to think about, how do I need to behave? How should I be acting? Because I might upset people, and I can do that quite easily by being very blunt. So fortunately, we've got Connor and Rachel that very good at seeing the other side.
You want to do a little space then?
Liam has a really nice relationship with a girl from his school. They've been together as a couple for over a year now, and it's been really, really helpful for Liam's growth to work out the rules of relationships.
Been going out with my girlfriend for about a year, and it's the best year of my life, actually. Yeah, we have said I love you to each other. I'm pretty sure I understood it because it's just, you know, it's something that you should really understand before you say it. It was because it takes a lot of thinking time for me to actually understand a big thing like that. It's physically and emotionally exhausting for me to understand small emotions, so I think, yeah, it was something that I really meant.
Connor, you want to play Space Engineers?
Connor, play Space Engineers!
No.
It's boiling the surface above it.
Don't tease him about his overheating laptop. Connor, servers up, you playing?
No.
Come on.
It's kind of neat as a family. We've got this sort of common denominator between a lot of us, which also really worries me. It kind of excludes Connor a little bit. We have to be very careful because we find ourselves putting a lot of effort into supporting the other three kids. So I'm very aware that he feels like he gets left out.
It is really hard, and I'm so mindful that he doesn't get lost in that busyness of three children with quite strong needs. He just wants to be a typical young man and do typical young man things.
Hello. How are you? Hi. Hello.
Auntie Anne, she is incredible to this family. She gives Connor one-to-one time. It's really focused all about him. So once a week, he goes out on a Saturday for the entire day. go and play soccer, and then they'd go off and do the market and fixing cars and then come home. So it was a really nice break for him.
Get some orange, get some cake on board, boys.
Oh, no.
Cake, yes. Get some cake. You need the energy. Well done, Justin.
Now, this woman here is amazing because her and her husband, they come early, they put up the tent. Today they're running a barbecue. Last time I think they paid for the sausages and the bread. Yeah. They bring Connor to all his games. She is an amazing lady.
Yummy. A snack.
I was thinking you guys have both been so good today that I was thinking about doing a no rules night.
I love no rules night.
Huh?
I like rules night.
What's no rules for you, son?
Well, the rules are for a no rules night. There are no rules.
One night I was just so tired. No rules, and as long as you guys are doing the right thing, I'm not going to set any rules. All of a sudden, we had these really well-behaved children that weren't fighting with each other and having a whole lot of fun, and I'm getting a break, and it just worked.
Yep, is that what you want?
See these loops? We can use these. We'll just loop them up. Like that. And then we just need to get this loop up there.
We have nature play school 1 day a week. I was aware that in the New Zealand legislation, children can attend a different school 1 day a week. We've also learnt that Harry and Sophie clearly don't enjoy going to school 5 days a week. So I started to look for what would be the right fit for them to have a break and do what they love to do, which is to have no rules and to be free. And for Harry in particular, he loves bugs and birds.
We need this. Yeah. No, guys, stop. We need this to be like super tight. If you're really heavy, don't go on it. I need you to pull this again. Can you pull this, please? It depends on this, but that's...
Oh, okay.
Everyone get off.
So with our nature-based play programs, all our curriculum is looked at from both a sensory child development point of view as well as an education and fun point of view. So it's a bit more holistic with what we have children doing throughout the day, with a really nice balance of some intentional teaching and a lot of child-led play.
Hey, 2 people on this side, 3 people on this side, 3 people on this side. 3, 2, 1, left! Nature school is really cool because there's Kim. She brings in tools and hammers and saws and stuff like that, and we cut down the dead trees. There was a borer. We saw 2 borer. There was heaps of hoo-hoo holes as well, and if you touch the tree, it just fell into dust, because some of the tree fell into dust. Look how much I got. Got hardly any.
Sophie has really hooked in with another girl that's here, and they are on their own mission a lot of the time. They have been quite creative and expressive, and they both have a passion for mud.
Nature school is fun. Ria is really cool, and she's my best friend, definitely. And incredible.
And there's been benefits that I didn't anticipate. Finding our village, we had this amazing community of very similar-minded parents who were open and accepting of a little bit different, a little bit quirky. And these are all things that are really critical to their success as being an adult. But it takes a huge amount of time and effort to find those resources. And you also have to spend a lot of time talking to people, because there's no resource in the community that says, here are all the options that you could choose.
Chilli in there? No. Come on, guacamole's got chilli in it.
No. So every Friday, Auntie and Uncle come and have dinner, and every now and then we have other people over and just say thanks.
So thank you for all the hard work everyone puts in, helps us out. So tonight we've got Big Lem and Sai and Sarah here as well. They're also the carers.
No. I'm happy to Yeah.
Without Rachel's never-ending efforts to keep the family working smoothly, we wouldn't be in this situation. She pulls off this amazing achievement of raising all of us and helping us, the family, grow.
Autism has taught me that everybody has their own view on their own life. I think having a lived experience of disability makes me a richer person, and I'm super proud of all my children. I'm really excited about their future because I think for all of the kids it's going to be something pretty incredible.
I couldn't be more proud of my children. I think they're all incredibly gifted. It would be a boring life without having some autistic kids.
I better let them out. All right, ladies, out you go. Score! 3 eggs. 3. My mom makes some superb eggs with these things. And I always top it off with some kataya fire for good measure.
How many did we get?
3.
Good girls, come on. A Peggy, a Polly, and a Millie. The Millie is the... Look at that, she makes such big eggs. Yes, put them in the egg tray in the bread bin.
Roger, roger.
Thank you, hon. Good work, girls. Well, we've got some guests coming. Ooh. Yay!
Whoa, business is booming.
Well, the egg business is. Don't think we're going to make a fortune out of that, though.
Well, something is better than nothing, even no matter how minuscule the profit is.
Yeah, that's true. We have an Airbnb, and it's very romantically called the Pearl of Whakatiwai. We call it the detox unit because that's what my father used to call it as a kind of joke. Yeah, and what's your job?
To make the bed.
Yep. That's about it. I'm the cleaner.
She's the cleaner, I'm the maker.
Yeah.
Well, now that Mr. Sunshine's off the beach, want me to take her for a walk? I walk fast. Try to keep up. Come on, Shep.
My name is Hunter McGregor, and I function on the high end of the autistic spectrum.
So we went off to this paediatrician who shall remain nameless. While I wasn't really expecting anything bad, he did a little hearing test before that. She sat with him and asked for 15 minutes, and then she said, well, your son's autistic. I'm sorry, what's your name again? There was no, there. It was like this bomb got dropped on me, and then she got up and left the room. It was like, whoa, how's that for? It wasn't a really good way to deliver something like that. Anyway, that was shattering because I didn't really know what I was going to be dealing with. And I was a single parent, basically.
I was diagnosed with autism when I was 2 years old, and this horrified my family because rumor has it that autism itself is a mental disability.
Autistic spectrum disorder. I can't explain it. People don't know what it is, really. They still don't know what causes it. It's a spectrum, like a rainbow. And, you know, there are genius people who are autistic. There are not genius people who are... It's like the so-called normal spectrum. It's just a vast variety of differentness. But I guess the most obvious thing about it is that he is quite odd and he doesn't have fabulous social skills, but he is actually quite social.
This is her playground. She can do whatever she likes out here. Running along the rocky beach, chasing seagulls, chasing birds is her favorite thing to do. You know, buzzing them for kicks.
He's just funny and interesting and wonderful. But I had to start looking at things from the perspective of how his life was going to be. And, you know, I knew that he didn't have any friends, you know. He didn't want any friends, basically. I think when you're autistic, you don't know how to develop a social circle where that kind of thing happens. And I can't do that for him. I can't ring people up and say, hey, could you come down and play with Hunter? The weird and unfortunate thing is that hasn't stopped because, you know, Hunter is still Hunter, and I'm so glad he is. But, you know, we're both getting older, and he's really worried and anxious about what he's going to do.
Come on, Shep. We're almost home free.
Ooh. See what I mean about the windows, though? Dirtier on the inside.
But we can't blast them in here.
No, but I have to. That's my least favourite job in the world. Oh, no, cleaning the oven's the worst job. Because poor Hunter's eyesight is not good enough for him to see dirt around the place, so that's why I'm the cleaner and he's the maker. I mow the lawns whenever Hunter mows the lawns. It's like a series of mohawks, and so I have to go and do it all again anyway. You're good at firing up the lawnmower. That is something I'm not good at. So together, we're like the perfect team. He can start the lawnmower and I can mow the lawns. Right?
Yeah, and what? And this week I was able to pull out some very stubborn weeds. Their roots grew deep.
They did.
But I showed them who's boss, even though I felt like giving up. Intruder! Intruder!
You're not allowed in here. Polly, not in my bedroom. Polly, if you crap on the carpet, there'll be trouble. Polly? I'll pick him up, her up. Polly, here. Polly, okay. It's all right, Polly. It's okay. He's a good chicken.
I'll seal the door.
Yeah, seal the door. You're a good chicken, but you're not allowed in the house. There is a little chore I have for you, which is the phoenix palm fronds have more fallen onto the lawn.
Oh, those.
Those.
No sweat, I'll deal with them.
I can't even describe my relationship with Hunter because we're one unit. We're like an entity, you know. It's me and Hunter. That's the way it is.
What I like about this place, it used to belong to my grandfather. It was a bit run down when we moved. When we moved him here, we were able to modernize our home after the fire. And now it looks better than ever from the inside. It sure is peaceful, and it's got a neat view of the Firth. Would you look at that? Oops, I almost forgot. Ever since I've got my degree of creative technologies, we've lived down here for 3 years. It is much farther away from society than we bargained for. I mostly just hang out with her and make sure that we're taking a step forward in finding myself employment. Who wants a flat white, anyone? We made up a breakfast in bed establishment here so we would earn some money from our visitors who would appreciate the view, our view of the Firth and all the hospitality we have to offer. Typical, off by a few degrees, way below par.
I should have sent you to the army. Then you would have been good at making beds.
Maybe you should send me to a bed maker shop or something like that. All the same, can't be perfect if you catch my drift.
Pull it down a bit at that end.
Huh?
You can be perfect. No, that way. That way. That way. Pull the sheet that way. There you go. That's it. You can't afford to live in Auckland. And here, at least, we can afford to be here. He kind of likes it here, I think. Yeah, I think he does like it here. At first, he really hated being stuck in the boonies. But all I had to do was make sure he had a really powerful internet connection, and he was fine. So we've got this massive, huge, I don't know how many gigabytes pouring into here, which we would have needed to do anyway for the Airbnb guests. So, but I mean, yeah, as long as he's plugged in, he's fine.
Hey, Ma, where are the bottom sheets?
Oh, you mean pillowcases?
That's right.
Hang on.
One second.
Sorry about that.
Thank you, Ma.
Slipped my mind.
Right, where was I?
He's got a great big glorious brain. I know. I wish he would have an opportunity to do something good with it. You know, the last time we did some filming, he had been offered to do a degree at Media Design School, which is a really good school.
My very first idea for a game, Zodiac Quest, The Will of the Stars. You probably noticed that big painting behind my computer. That's my original game idea, the very first. Didn't quite make it off the ground. So the story goes something like this. The world of Zodia, everyone's happy. The starglyph provides them, the starglyph, that thing in the middle there, It provides the world with countless power, but then a fucus comes along, destroys the glyph, scatters the starstones, Zodia falls into disarray. That alone is what convinced me to take up MDS and receive my degree of creative technologies, which is right there on the wall. First things first, I have to find it. Well, if I'm gonna make this a reality, I would have to find myself a job out there in the field first. You know, join the battle, if you pardon the metaphor. Yeah, I do want to get myself out there, but what if I bungle and get booted from the battlefield? That would be a serious disgrace, but what am I worried about?
Now that you're going through this whole trying to get some employment thing, I have to help you through the rejection phase.
Yeah, you can't avoid the bitter sting of rejection now, can ya? But hey, if you found a job in the media industry, I don't see why I can't.
Right, but I'm not, like, a high-functioning autistic person. And I have good eyesight. So you've got a couple of big hurdles that are not necessarily helping your case, which I think is unfair, but it's...
True.
True. Anyway, it's not the end of the world if you never get a job, because you can still do what you love doing, and as long as you're enjoying life, that's the main thing.
Yeah. I had no idea she is going through the same stress that I am trying to find employment. Are you sure you have cold feet?
It's not that I have cold feet. It's just everything that you go through, I'm feeling. It's like I'm your invisible...
My other brain.
Not your other brain, but it's like I'm your invisible other you, sort of. Well, I'm not exactly invisible, but you know what I mean. I'm there for you, kiddo. That's what I mean. You're not doing this on your own.
I'm never alone, am I?
No, you're not. And if all else fails, you can have Shep. I think, the ideal environment for Hunter would be to be with a group of people who are conceptualizing characters and games. But whether or not he can get crack into that kind of realm, I don't know. It's a big ask. He doesn't have really great coding skills, or, he's not fast as animation. But he understands the entire process now, which is good.
So much blood!
Always with Hunter and anyone on the autistic spectrum, anxiety is always going to be a big issue. And Hunter has had, he's actually been able to battle his anxiety, and the whole thing about going to media design school was huge for him in terms of giving him confidence. The fact that he did that he would get himself there and get himself back and do it and be there and get his degree. Massive achievement for him. He can be anxious about the most ridiculous things. Like, oh my God, I've heard the yen is falling. Is this going to be the end of Nintendo? And it'll freak him out for a day or something. It's that kind of thing. And it's not something I can really talk him through and say, listen, don't worry about it. He will worry about it. He worries about crazy stuff. He worries about storms, like that big storm we had, that was freaky. He's been worried about having another one of those. He just worries. was just kind of cute, really. He was really cute. He could be quite distant, though, but he was just a placid baby. And young one. A lot of autistic kids are they run around. A lot of them are hyperactive and run, and some of them are runners, and it's really scary for people because they could just go and disappear. But Hunter never did anything like that, apart from on the beach but he knew I was behind him probably. And he's the best travelling companion. We've travelled a bit because one of the things when we got our second opinion about Hunter's original diagnosis, Professor Weary said the best bit of advice I ever got, which was, don't let him get stuck in routine. And fortunately, at that time, I was working in a job where I could afford to travel. So Hunter and I travelled everywhere. We went all over the place. India 3 times. And so that was great because he's really never has been stuck on routine. He's never really seen himself as being different. He's never, I don't think, worried about it. The thing that makes him feel most different is the fact that he's got terrible eyesight because of the acute hydrocephalus he had as a, thank you not, a double whammy when he was 13. Damaged optic nerve, and so, he's pretty partially blind, so that's the thing that makes him feel more different to people. He would have loved to have been able to drive, but he can't see for shit. I mean, he can't see very well. When it comes to things like looking for a job, he's never, ever looked on Seek or anything like that. He needs constant motivation. But once he's there in front of something and doing it, he's great. He's just he needs guidance, like a missile.
Hello? Hello?
Hey, Hunter.
How's it going?
Good, mate.
And how are you? And how's all the how's all the arts and crafts coming along?
Pretty good, Hunter. Pretty good, mate. Have you come down to do a little bit with me today?
Well, it's just that my mum has this idea of using this place as a studio for guests who want to hone their artistic skills.
Cool. Write me a word on there without an I in it, or a little sentence, not using an I. I'll see what we can do. My name's Tony Johnson, and I live in Kiowa. I used to live at the lodge with Hunter some time ago, but I'm living down the road and using this place as my current studio. Roy suggested that we have a Airbnb experience based out of the studio in the future, maybe in 2 or 3 months' time. And I think there's a place there for Hunter to work with me and with anybody that would like to get involved in the project. Yeah, sure.
What does that read?
That reads Hunter. Now, you've got an option here, Hunter. Do you want to leave it plain like that, or do you want to put some decoration on it?
I'll just leave it plain like this.
Cool, okay.
I don't know my own strength. I had no idea I had that much artistic potential in me. I mean, look at my door sign.
It's pretty good, Hunter. You've done a really good job, man.
You really think so?
I do. I do. I think you've done a really good job. You've got really good spacing, and you've got them nice and even, which is very hard to do freehand with stamps. Very hard. And you've done real good, man. Real good.
Yikes, that's high praise.
How did it go with Tony?
Oh, it was great. It was fun, all right.
Fun?
Yeah.
Crikey, that's extreme.
Well,
What'd you decide?
Well, for once I made some cups and a sign for my den.
Good grief, all that in that short time.
Yes.
I don't think I help Hunter actually a lot on that because, I mean, I am as isolated here as he is, and I've become a little hermity, so I think I'm a bad influence on him. I think that he probably needs to be dragged out of his shell a bit more. I mean, it's not going to happen down here. But if he moved, you know, if he had a job, then that would probably happen naturally. Oh, look at those toadstools. I worry for him in that, and that's the reason why I want him to be doing something that he loves doing and to be more independent, even though it will break my heart because I love having him around, but I have to let him go if he gets an opportunity to go. Hopes for Hunter would be that he just like, there's obviously the one thing that everybody hopes for their children is that he's happy. I would like him to fall in love with another gorgeous, slightly geeky woman or guy or whatever, and be living in an environment where he can be happy and cook with somebody else. And ultimately feel secure. Yeah.
Attitude was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.